This face is one of the most famous faces in Japan. If you ask any Japanese person, they'll immediately know who this is. He used to be on the old 10,000 yen bill, which is the highest bill, but he wasn't a famous emperor or a super strong warrior. He was actually a poor samurai, but one of the first Japanese people to visit Europe. And what he saw in Europe changed Japan forever. But why? You see, his name was Fukuzawa Yukichi, and he was born in 1835 Japan to a poor family. His family was so poor that he didn't end up studying or going to school until he was 14. But once he got into a school, he was definitely academically gifted. And yes, it's Matthew Perry again. Basically, this guy is an American dude that came to Japan in 1853, telling Japan to open its borders because Japan was isolated for the last couple hundred years. Japan was like, oh shit, we can't go to war with them because we've denied every single country that tried to trade with us. But they have crazy guns and crazy ships. We need to modernize and westernize. After Perry arrives, Yukichi's brother tells Yukichi that he needs to go study Dutch and learn Dutch because they needed to modernize. And he basically ends up going to Nagasaki where there was a lot of Dutch people, and he became fluent in Dutch in 3 years. But he came back to Tokyo, or Edo at the time, and he was so fascinated by foreign people that he would go to the ports, and he realized they weren't speaking Dutch, they were speaking English. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to start studying English. But here's the problem. There was like no dictionaries or any people that could speak English and Japanese. So he couldn't really learn anything. Luckily, the Tokugawa Bakufu, or the government of Japan at the time, was sending envoys to America. And Fukuzawa Yukichi basically volunteered. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. So him and a bunch of other samurai-looking dudes, and this is an actual picture of them landing in Washington shipyards. This is Washington apparently, and he spent a month in San Francisco where he bought a Webster's dictionary. He started locking in on studying English. The government or the Bakufu at the time was like, yo, this guy's pretty good. So they decided to make him the official translator for the government. 2 years later, the government sends him to Europe. Yes, a lot of these photos were actually taken in Europe. He went to multiple countries, England, France, Holland, which is the Netherlands, Prussia, Portugal, and he wrote an autobiography. And he wrote some interesting things about Britain when he asked how the political systems worked. He asked the British what political parties are in general and how elections worked. And he wrote in his autobiography that this man and this man are political enemies, but they're eating together and drinking together. He couldn't understand how two political opposing people could even sit together without going to war, of course. He came back to Japan and started instantly writing a bunch of books. Seiyo Jijo, which is Conditions of the West, instant bestseller. Gakumon no Susume, Encouragement of Learning, instant bestseller. Even founded Keio Daigaku or Keio University, which is one of the most prestigious universities in Japan. But yeah, shout out to this guy.